Creative Memories has done it again. Irresistible collection of all the Scenic papers. 6 collections, the most adorable little punches. And I'm going to show you the first 2 right now. Hello, scrapbookers and creative friends. I'm Linda Petuch, Creative Memories Independent Advisor in Jupiter, Florida. Welcome to Thursday Thoughts. And today I'm very excited because I'm going to start sharing with you the new Scenic papers that Creative Memories came out with. Now, I thought in my little mind that I would do all 6 of them, but it truly is too much material, so I don't want to bore you. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do 2 at a time. Today I'm going to start with the beach scenes and with the coastal shores, which would be more New England. So what I'm doing is I'm kind of following the sun at the time zone. So I'm starting at home here with the beach, and then of course going north to the New England coastal areas. And then the next part 2 will be the desert and the prairie and the desert. Prairie first, then desert. And then the third, my third episode will be the last 2, which is the mountain and trees and the Pacific. So I hope you will come along. If you haven't subscribed, do that, and then click that little bell so that you'll be notified when I produce my next video. You just get a little reminder. So that's what I'm going to do is I'm going to take you through the first 2 collections. I am in love. You know, every time I think that the artists have come up with the coolest thing yet, they make another one, which is magnificent. So between the papers and the stickers and these wonderful punches, I cannot wait to show you. So let's get going. My inspiration, of course, was the materials for the scenes. So this is the beach scene. This is the beach scene and this cute little shark border punch that comes with that. And on the coastal scenes, this comes with this little lobster border punch. And what's really fun about these punches this time is that, I don't know if you can see that they have like a scallop. There's a scallop design on the edge of the punch. It's not just a straight punch. So that makes it even more fun. And the confetti that comes out of these is the little lobsters and the little sharks. And you'll see how I use that. So here's the, with the lobster punch. Here's our paper. So this is very New England coastal. I used every piece of paper. Here's an example of the little lobster punch. You can see. And let's turn this over. So you can see. So what pops out are the lobsters. Of course, you'll have whatever color is coming through there. But then I punched them in a couple different colors and added them back in, which is really fun. And of course, it comes with the sticker pack, which I've used them all except for I have a couple little sayings that didn't really go. They may go with pictures later, but they don't go with anything I have right now. And then the other thing that that they did with these collections is there is a recipe template as well. So this is one thing that took me a little bit longer. I did make a recipe template design for both of these scenes, and I will do that for the subsequent ones. So anyway, this is the basic. I call this my my staging area. So as I cut and trace the paper, I put it on here to build it on my page. So I will show you that. I did one for this. I do have other videos about recipe templates. I can possibly put those in the links so that if you haven't used them, aren't familiar with them, I have some little tutorials. I have a couple of videos about using them. All right, so that's the coastal one. And this is the beach scene and the wonderful little shark punch that comes. And here are the stickers. I did use every single one of the stickers. And the recipe template here is the beach waves, which is really kind of fun. But I did some cutting, like you see in this design. There's cutting here, but I didn't cut all those little waves from the sun. You'll see how I handled that. But again, I do always trace these as my staging area. And I didn't do the dimensions on here, but I usually write the dimensions if there's a way that I can, it can save time when you're creating with these recipe templates. So let's take a look at what I have designed for you to see. I'm going to start with the recipe template. So this was that one recipe template, that the sun one. So you see, I did cut out the sun itself here and a little part of it. And then what I ended up doing was I ended up painting those rays. So I have little makeup sponges that I use. Becky Belote showed me this. The first time I ever saw this, Becky Belote did it. I use these little makeup sponges, which are really cheap. These looks like I'm going to have to replace these soon, and we're going to have brushes later in the fall, I think. But in the meantime, you can paint like this. So I just, with the template on, I just dabbed it, and you do have to let it dry overnight. I didn't put these photo mats on until it dried overnight. I also put it under these mats and put some weight on it so it would flatten it out. And of course, once you put it in your album and you have the page protector on, it'll flatten it out even more. But you just use the Creative Memories pens so that it's photo safe ink. And so you just rub it on there and dab it. I have the water because the lid, you can still see maybe the little stains on it. So I can put the ink on here as well, and then give it a little spritz of water, and it makes it a little less intense. But you can also just dab it. It makes I think it's a really pretty look. Okay, so I did create that page for 2 photographs. And just for the fun of it, did I do that with it? No. Okay. But I did just say, yeah, I did. So I decided this was another piece of this sun paper that has the stripes on the back. So I went ahead and I made a page, which I can use as an individual page, but if I wanted to use it for double page, I could do that as well because it has all the sun design. Now, I did have to pull in some of the other designs from other punches. So I used this tidal waves because I wanted to add that there. And recently we got the little sunglasses, so I added a little row of those as well. But then these are stickers from the sticker pack, popped up on foam squares. And this is the back. When I cut the sun, I used all the scraps from the remainder, made a border here, and of course another little photo mat. I have a couple of pages that are just single. This one, and oh yeah, and I did use all the cards, the coordinating cardstock. So here's this one, Sunkissed, and I punched out the little, our little double palm trees. I did punch those out too because I wanted to add those to this embellishment. Actually, it's a sticker. They aren't embellishments, they're just stickers. And yeah, they're stickers this time, no embellishments. And then this is some of the coordinating cardstock on there. Here's another one. The umbrellas at the beach. See the little flip-flops there. We do have a flip-flop puncheon, but I was trying to not digress too much away from the items that came with the collection in case you don't have the others. But know that if you have the flip-flops or any of those other sea things, that would be a wonderful thing to add. The dolphin border maker cartridge. I had to really hold back. I tried not to digress too much. So let's look at some double pages. So this first one, it's a very busy paper. So I've kind of decided I have a style, and that is I like to do the folded pages. I like to do the mitered pages. So this one I chose to do the folded pages, and I picked up on this green and put these little palm fronds here. And then just 2 simple embellishments. Remember, we talk about drawing your eye across the 2 pages. So this is folded. This was a 2-inch fold. Added the little sticker strip there, and then I will mat the photos. I didn't put photo mats on this one, but you can see it'd be very easy to put photo mats, and you'd have lots of space there. Okay, this one's a little bit busier. Okay, so on this one, I decided I wanted to use that umbrella paper, and I cut it like the Scenic paper. I cut 1.5 inches off each end, and then the space in the middle that I had left, I just cut it in half and put half on each page. And then I picked up on that orange. And if you were able to get that coral punch, maybe your advisor has it. This was from the Paradise bundle. I just had to use it. Picked up on that orange from my little sharks, and you can see with the sharks, see it's empty there, but I did add eyeballs. Sharks have big black eyeballs, so I wanted to add that on here. And I also added a couple little crab, and there's a lobster from the confetti that comes out of the punch. A day at the beach, very much umbrellas and so forth. And then I put the photo mats here. These are stickers that are popped up on foam squares, because I wanted the sharks to look like they were underwater here. So, oh, and did you see that scallopy edge? It's really pretty the way they did that punch. Very much fun. Okay, beside folded page, I do enjoy mitering. Okay, so this is one side, and again, I used another punch that didn't come with the collection, but that I had, the white-capped waves, because I wanted these dolphins to be, you know how they play in the water. So I had them coming up. This is very busy shell paper and sea star paper, but by mitering it, that way I have the design, but not too much crazy stuff, and that looked like water to me. And then I decided this time to use the little Sea Stars Border Maker cartridge to add a little touch at the bottom, pick it up on that beige color, and then let's look at the flip side. As you can see how I mitered it, and then be very easy. You could punch something, or you could just add a strip of paper to cover up those spots, and then I would definitely pick up on this blue or this one or both to make my photo mats. A little more mitering. I do love that. You can see that paper. Okay, so this one, I decided I wanted to do a folded on one side, and then did I design it this way? Yes. No, maybe I did it this way. Yeah, that feels more comfortable to me for some reason. I don't know. It's flexible either way. But so I did folded paper here. And the other thing I like to do besides the mitering and the folding is I love to cut a frame. So because this is such busy paper, what I did was I looked to see how wide I should make it to make sure that the hammerhead shark showed through there. So I cut, I believe this was 1.5 inches. Yes, it was 1.5 inch frame. And then this is, I flipped it over. You know, well, we can't see it. It's on white cardstock. But so you flip this over. This was the part I cut out of the frame. Flipped it over, and then that ties both sides of the pages in there together. And you get when you fold, you end up getting a ready-made border. So I added that and a couple little embellishments, but I think it's really cute. And then there were several sharks in the stickers, and I just love seahorses, so I decided I would put that here as well. Lifeguard at the beach, be careful because of those sharks out there. Gotta go where the lifeguard is. And the last page in this collection is this one. Not as beachy. I mean, it is beachy because the palm trees grow at the beach, but they also grow in our yards. But I decided to make this. This could be more flexible. This could be at the beach or just somewhere in the tropics. And I love this. Is the tangerine cardstock that I used to pick up on the flowers that are here and put the mats already. And I did nothing on the back, but this is the orange cardstock. Now let's look at a couple of borders. I just made a few. So the first one I made, this is with the little shark, the hammerhead, and the other, like the reef shark and all the other lemon. I will say that's a lemon shark. Why not? But you see what I did? I put it on the orange paper. I cut it in, punched it in this kind of sandy looking brown or beige. But then so now I do have some orange sharks, but to add a little more interest, then I added the confetti blue ones that I had punched, from this. I added the blue ones on here. And this one I made 2. Very simple with my sharks, for a double page. And there we go. Very simple and very fun. And I think adding the sharks have very definitive big black eyes, so I decided to put them, and the hammerhead eyes are on this side. The funky little head, cute little head. Okay, and the last one in this collection, This one I did Ride the Waves with the little surfboard. And I just cut this with the decorative trimmer. You can put it on either side. Okay. And this was a sticker strip. And this was a sticker. And I just popped it up on foam squares. Very simple, very cute. And I used everything in that collection. So now let's take a look at the, let's go from the Southern Ocean beaches. Let's go head a little bit north. Okay, so on the coastal scenes paper, I also started with the recipe template, and this had the sailboat. And I thought I really want to put a couple of photos on the page that I make for you. So this is what I came up with. So I used the striped paper. I decided I wanted to have a striped sail because I can do whatever I want. So I did the striped sail on the sailboat. I used some other paper. You know, I didn't cut all the things that were on the template, but I definitely wanted clouds, and I used the white shimmer for that. And then I took my blue Creative Memories pen, just added a little texture to the clouds. And then I also added some stickers up on foam squares, and decided to put 2 photos here. So I used the circle cutter to cut the photo, and then used another blade to make it a little bit wider, and then have this little picture. This was very recently that our Kim and Paco. Kim is the bigger white sweet dog, and Paco, our Chihuahua, I love him, but yeah, he's a challenge. Sometimes he's a menace to society, but you know, he's still in training, and I love him. But we took him to the dog beach, which we hadn't done, we haven't done it because Kimmy gets very car sick, so I have to give her Dramamine, and I just really don't want to give her medication I don't have to. So, but they did love it. It was really fun. So we took them, and I wanted to make sure that I created this. And you know, when you make a recipe template, the very design in it has a whole space around the edge like a frame, so it's going to be open. But I decided I wanted to finish it, so I took strips of the paper, of this coastal paper, and made a frame around it that matched the sails on the sailboat. I really like that. And this is going to go in our Things We Do album, because one of the things we love to do is go to the beach, and the puppies got to go this time. So now let's look at some pages. So using this paper, it's a very New England with the, I don't know if that's wisteria, I don't know what that is, but anyway, beautiful northern flowers, and I just use, this is the flip side, I believe. Nope. Yeah, okay, so the flip side of this wisteria paper, this flower paper, is this plaid, which was really pretty. So I added a couple of stickers, embellishments, lots and lots. I decided not to put photo mats, but you see there's plenty of space to do many, many photos. So I did a little more mitering on this one, and this time I decided I would miter the top. So let me see. So what I did was this is of course the flip side. So I just cut off, I think this was 3 inches, cut it off, flipped it over, and mitered that at the top. So then I made this, and these were stickers. I thought that was the perfect edge to put on here to finish off that top. I just love these beautiful blues. It's so pretty. And then these are stickers that I put up on foam squares. I do have mats. You know, I didn't adhere them because sometimes, you know, I don't like to put them ahead of time, because if I have an event that has quite a few pictures, I might want to just try to fit them all in there, maybe mat 1 or 2, but not have the mats here already. But I have them cut, and I keep them with the pages so that they're ready to go when I'm ready to put my pictures in. And then on this side, on the mitered side, we will be both mitered, but where it's adhered with those tape chips, I pre-cut this so that now I can either we can put the flowers here, or we could put the plaid. Okay, either one, whatever I'd like to do. But then that'll cover that up, and then that leaves a lot of space if you wanted to put title at the top and so forth. But I just think it's really, really pretty paper. So there's that. back over here. This is the coastal. All right. Thinking of coastal. We're thinking of seafood. So they have this cute little lobster paper, and they, of course, these are stickers that I put up on foam squares, and then I love these sticker strips. So I've cut it on blue so it would look like it was at the edge of the ocean, and then these buoys on the rope. But that was really fun. And then you've got room for six photos, and it's the flip side. You know, you've got the same idea if you have an event that you need more than just 2 pages. And there you go. Really pretty paper. I really enjoyed working with this. Okay, take me away. Let's go sailing. So when I made the sailboat, I had a few scraps. So I cut a leftover from when I made the sails on the sailboat. So I decided that I would use those corners and put them on and incorporate them into a page, and then a couple of other scraps for mats. And then I just picked up on the blue and then added a little, this is another piece of cardstock, added the stickers. And then my lobsters, I punched them, as you can see, in 3 colors, and then I just mixed and matched where they were. Because, you know, the lobsters are red when they're cooked, but in life, when they're alive, they're not red. So I decided to put other colors here because we have enough red here. And there's that. One more page. One more double page. Okay, so this, the buoy paper here is, it's kind of busy. So again, I did the folded page here, put it on, this is, I believe, the cranberry cardstock. Put it on that, and then folded the edge over, and that leaves you all this space for your photographs. They had this cute little sticker sign, couple of cooked lobsters, so we know we're going for dinner, and then sailing into memories with our little sailboats here. But that's just such a nice thing. And then, of course, it's plain cardstock on the back that you can decorate as you wish to go with any event you might be doing. Okay, and then I only have one border because I used so many of the stickers on the pages, but I used this. I cut with the decorative trimmer. I cut both the scallop and the swell, and then added that here, kind of balance it a little bit, and added a couple of humpback whales here. Definitely performing for us because we're having a whale of a time. And that is that. Thank you so much for watching. It was fun taking you to the beach and to New England coast. We're going to have new adventures next time. If you have any questions or comments, please put them in the comments below. I do have the links in the description below for these papers and others. If you have an advisor, please shop with your advisor. But if you don't have one, I would love that job. I would love to be your advisor. Let's have a conversation. You can check out my website, Linda's Scrapbooking Station, as well, and I do have that link provided for you. If you haven't subscribed, if you do that, then you'll be able to be informed the next time I have a video coming out, because you click that bell and it'll let you know. Until next time, happy scrapbooking.